Good morning, girls. Happy freaking hump day. Hopefully, we are feeling good and ready for midweek. I feel like this week has been so slow. I was sitting in the car this morning and I was like, how is it only Wednesday? Anyway, we are on to this week's topic of discussion, which is hydration station. Which I've actually got some lovely Coke Zero. And what I want you to think about is this is the simplest habit that a lot of people overlook and they actually ignore. And I'll give you an example. Franny, he used to be really, really bad for just drinking all of these. That's all he would drink. I remember one day, and it wasn't long ago, a few months ago, and he was on his way home and he was like, oh, it's 6 o'clock at this point. And he was like, I've only had that can of Monster, say, this morning. I've not had anything to eat and anything to drink. Now that is so bad for you, okay? And a lot of people overlook how important actually hydrating your body is, not just for fat loss but for actually functioning as a human. So what is the 411 with hydration? As it says, most people overlook the importance of drinking actual water, and often, and then I would say more so females. I don't know, maybe there's statistics for that, but if you're dehydrated, I would actually say for more kind of gym girls, if you feel like you're dehydrated, you would just go for caffeine, aka a Monster or like a coffee. So a lot of people will reach for caffeine and fizzy juice if they feel like they need a drink rather than actually opting for water, or like diluting juice, or put like hydroflow in your water, etc. Obviously, side effects of being dehydrated is things like brain fog, fatigue, cravings being high, slower recovery, headaches, obviously yellow dark urine, bloating as well, and sometimes even muscle cramps, right? So if you're someone, I remember I had a client before and she had terrible headaches, right? And I said to her about drinking enough water and also electrolytes. And see, as soon as she put that in, the headaches did go away. Now, it's not always the case, I'm not saying that, but it can be these simple things you are overlooking and you are missing out on. And hydration, drinking water, it does not take a lot of effort. Sometimes people do actually confuse. So when you are dehydrated and you're not drinking enough water, your brain works in a way that it tells you that you need more food. So people can't differentiate, like your brain can't differentiate between, do I need more food or do I need more water here? And often if you're dehydrated, then you need more water and not food. So yeah, that's the jam with that. Obviously the functions, and I know that people don't really care about what these things do. That is the simple fucking explanation of it. People don't really care, but I'm just going to explain that it does help regulate body temperature. It does have a purpose more than actually helping with fat loss, or muscle growth or maintenance, whatever you have to function. It transports nutrients and oxygen. It obviously helps with your joints, protects your brain, flushes out waste and toxins, helps aid in digestion, prevents constipation, bloating, etc. So it does help with your gut health as well. Now, what we need to think about is, see, anytime I get a notification, it's coming through this Garmin. Oh my god. The mindset shift. That's something I've said for, and some of these things is the mindset shift. A lot of people's, I'm not going to say problems, but it all starts with your mindset and how you see things. So we want to change that to a more positive outlook, more positive mindset. So hydration isn't just water, but it does help support your body to function, helps how you perform on the daily, and no matter what phase you're going through. So whether it's a dieting, growth, maintenance, performance goals, aesthetic goals, whatever it may be, it's going to help, right? So again, I use the saying quite a lot when people don't hit their macros or they don't eat their food. You wouldn't have the same mindset of like thinking that your car is going to get you somewhere. If you didn't put any fuel in your car, you're not going to get anywhere. So it's the same with food, and it's also the same with hydration. Don't expect your body to fully be able to function if you're not giving it these necessity basic things. So easy things that you can do, and all this chat is making me want to drink. And it's funny because Leo keeps saying to me recently, so he keeps saying the toilet like all the time. Like, I don't mean all the time, he's drinking more, he needs a toilet, right? Nothing wrong with him. But he says to me, if I say to him like, remember go to the toilet, and he doesn't go to the toilet, and then we go out and he's like, oh I need the toilet, he'll say, oh it's just because I was looking at that water, I need the toilet. I'm like, Anyway, easy starting targets. You don't need to go from, I'm not expecting a client to go from drinking nothing to 5 litres overnight. No, it's a gradual process, right? And I'll give you an example. I have a client who came to me and she was drinking 1 litre a day, right? And I've managed to get her up to 3-4 litres consistently, right? Now this has taken a bit of time. It's taken different methods. It's taken some days still hitting the 1 litre, but overall, majority of the time, she's hitting that consistent marker. So start with a gradual increase. So say to yourself, right, okay, today I'm going to hit 2 litres, right? How can I encourage myself to drink that? Okay, I'm going to start and end my day drinking 500 mils, so a glass of water. And then it means that throughout your day, you just need to drink like one of these down. This is 1.5, so if you only need to drink 1 litre, you don't need to drink a full one of them. And then just give yourself wee targets, so split that into like, okay, drink 200 ml every 1 to 2 hours, like that, and you can build it up from there. Things obviously can help encourage you to drink more water is buying a nice bottle. Add some flavour like lemons, limes or diluting juice. Buy some electrolytes. This will actually help you be hydrated because it will help replace minerals and vitamins that's lost. This is another topic, but basically when you sweat, everyone sweats, we lose vitamins and minerals, so electrolytes just replenish that back in. Obviously using a tracker, there's wee apps that you can use, even on like Garmin, Fitbit and all that, you can use that to input that information, obviously on the sheets as well. Carry it everywhere you go. I literally take my bottle everywhere I go. You know, if I go to the supermarket, if I go to school run, it's always with me because insight in mind, you're going to more likely sip on it, and every sip counts, like every step counts. And encourage yourself every time you have a meal to have a drink with it. Again, this is going to help with digestion, it's going to help with like that fullness, etc, etc. So remember that small actions equal to the big energy shifts. Okay, and happy living.